Welcome. I'm Mayor Gary Sulz, and with me today is Evan Parliament, Interim Chief Administrative Officer for the City of Revelstoke. Today, Evan and I are discussing the upcoming Union of BC Municipalities conference in Whistler this September. Every year, the city requests meetings with various ministers and provincial staff to discuss issues of importance to our community. And this year is no different. So let's talk about some of the items that we'll be addressing. So Evan, before we get into that, just for our viewing audience, UBCM affords us the ability to meet with ministers and staff people to advocate for the residents of our community. So the issues that we have going on in our community, we can take to higher levels of government to discuss those things that are prevalent in community members' minds. So let's start with the ministers' meetings. What are our intentions with that?
Yeah, no, thank you, Gary. So basically, Revelstoke is going to be meeting with 3 different ministries, and we're going to be dealing with 4 different staff ministries, dealing with the issues that affect Revelstoke. And so first and foremost, we're going to be talking about Bill 28 and the Forest Amendment Act and what that means to Revelstoke. It's talking about partnering with First Nations and managing our forest sector through our community forest and also our partners, and building a diverse and inclusive forest sector for the people to manage. We're also going to be talking about partnering with First Nations, and it's important that we do that, and that's what Bill 28 talks about. So we're going to be having meetings with the 2 ministries dealing with those topics. In terms of staff, we have an additional 15 minutes. We have a 30-minute commitment from senior staff of the province to talk about some of the issues affecting Revelstoke. We have a logjam issue up on the river, and we've written a letter to the province saying that that's your responsibility. We're putting you on notice that we want to work with you, so we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about the logging practices of the province and how it affects our recreation trails. So the advantage of a staff meeting is we have 30 minutes to exchange business cards and move some of these projects further. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's really good. And we get excited when we actually get to go there, talk to these ministers, and they actually get to hear from us directly about the issues that are affecting our community. So in addition to those meetings, we've asked for a couple other agency meetings. So I've asked for a meeting with the RCMP, and I want to talk to them about highway patrol officers. I want to actually enhance the number of officers that serve our community. And I'm finding that if we don't have enough highway patrol officers, our general duty officers, which are paid for by our community, are having to supplement that. So talking to the RCMP about how we get more officers, how we can actually have that based in Revelstoke is really important to the safety of our community. And in addition to that, if we have increased highway patrol officers, those 4 are paid by the ministry, and so or by the government. So we want to actually ask for that. And then I actually want to talk to the Seniors Advocate Office, and we want to talk about issues that are affecting our seniors. So housing is a big issue. Making sure that seniors really have everything in the community that they need. So if there's learning opportunities for seniors as they move into their senior years, we want to actually make sure that we're advocating for them. So in addition to all of that, that's really an important part of our UBCM meetings. So, Evan, in a nutshell, can you summarize things?
Well, I have found over the years attending UBCM that one of the advantages is you network with other municipalities. So, we know that there's a national housing crisis in Canada, and every municipality in BC is facing this issue. And affordable housing, attainable housing, whether it's transitional workers, seasonal workers, low income, this is a challenge affecting all municipalities. At UBCM, we have an opportunity to meet with our colleagues and trade best practices. Who did you partner with to build affordable housing, attainable housing? How did you fund it? So that's a big advantage of UBCM. So that's one particular example. Social media and how you manage social media in this world that we live in today. Every municipality faces it. So there's another example where UBCM affords us an opportunity to meet and network and talk about how you communicate to the residents, how you communicate to stakeholders, how you communicate internally. So that's another advantage. But I find with UBCM, I think the big advantage is stealing best practices from other communities that have dealt with issues that we're embarking on. And an example would be the pump track facility. You know, Pemberton has built one. We're going to go visit Pemberton. We're going to have a look at the pump track so we can bring their best practices as we move forward to building a similar facility in Revelstoke. And that's the advantage of UBCM, and I look forward to it.
Great. Thanks, Evan. I really appreciate you joining me today, Evan, to share your thoughts about the community issues we'll be advocating for at UBCM. And thanks to all of our audience for listening in. Be sure to take a few minutes to watch our other videos on the City Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram accounts. And thank you again for taking the time to watch today. Thanks, Evan.
Thank you, Gary.